I asked you when we started talking more explicitly about hypnosis, what it is and what it isn't. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this question that I just find very personally curious. What the relationship is between what you do in hypnotherapy and the sorts of comedic gag hypnosis episodes that we're more familiar with, where some hypnotist goes on a comedy show, gets people in the audience to dance like chickens or things like that, and they claim to have no idea of what's happening, no remembrance, no memory of it, things of this sort.
What you make me think in asking that question, Robinson, is somehow we don't have the same reaction to what people do when they get drunk at a party or get high on drugs and the use of alcohol or drugs as we do with hypnosis. I mean, there are a lot of things that can modulate your agency, disinhibit you, and get you to do things you wouldn't otherwise do. But somehow it's seen as a more intrinsic vulnerability or liability of hypnosis than it is of a lot of things we do. I mean, every culture in the world uses mind-altering substances of one kind or another. And there are always times when people want to let go and not be who they usually are. That's why we go on vacations. You're in a different setting, you act differently, you feel differently. So we like to dissociate and reconsolidate ourselves and act differently. But somehow with hypnosis, the football coach dancing like a ballerina is the kind of thing we see. Now, there is a certain amount of trickery to that. And the trickery is this, that in these stage shows, they don't just take the first two people out of the audience and get them to do all this stuff because they can't. What they do is some initial techniques. They'll be leaning back and forth while they're talking to the audience, and they'll look for people in the audience who are starting to sway back and forth with them, or they'll bring them up on stage and try a few things and see if they'll go along with it or not. So the first half of any of these shows involves calling from the audience the people who are the most highly hypnotizable. And then you can do, lie flat between two chairs and I'll sit on you, that kind of stuff. You can't do it with most people. So they give the impression that everyone is that vulnerable to manipulation using hypnosis. And the interesting thing is many of those people, they're vulnerable to manipulation without using hypnosis too. They're the kind of people who can too easily see it from the other person's point of view. And, if you think that this is just a function of hypnosis, pure hypnosis, think about the fact that 75% of Republicans think that Trump won the election. We are social creatures susceptible of social influence, including of things that obviously are not true. So it's it's something where hypnosis gets the bad rap, but frankly, it's a part of the human condition.